Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to my channel, Films by Jeremy. Once again, it's been a long time, whatever. So let's hop to it. I did it. I got myself the Lumix S1 Mark II. But before we get into that, let's back up a little bit. Earlier this year, I sold my OG Lumix S5. And to this day, I actually regret selling that camera. And my philosophy is a little strange as well. I like always having 3 Lumix cameras, no more, no less, all at the same time, especially for weddings. Having a bride camera, a groom camera, and a handheld camera has always been perfect for me. And when I sold my S5 back in February, I thought for sure that Lumix would come out with a camera that would, essentially solve all the problems that I had with prior cameras. The logic kind of made sense to me at the time, so don't ask. And then the Lumix S1ii Mark II was announced. And quite frankly, as much that camera was great, it seemed very much for photography and less for videography, even though it had a lot of videography features that, again, checked a lot of boxes, but still wasn't quite there. Then they announced the Lumix S1 Mark II and the S1 Mark IIe. So the truth is, I've never really heard of the S1 series from Lumix up until they announced the S1 Mark IIs. I then did some research on the S1s, the original S1s, and it seems like a camera that sort of flew under the radar, or at least it was popular or used before I got heavily into the Lumix full frame ecosystem. But this camera checked all of my boxes. And a lot of problems that I had with the Lumix S5 Mark IIX, this bad boy of a camera that I will never sell, a camera that I will probably use until it's dust. But a lot of the problems that camera had, they fixed. Uncropped full frame slow-mo, fixed. And they added a open gate option slow motion as well, which is just absurd. The latency from the HDMI to a monitor, I still notice a little bit of latency. Some people were saying that it was fully fixed, and I still noticed just a very slight latency, but it's not nearly as bad as the Mark IIX or prior Lumix cameras. The playback is much faster too, so when you want to review footage with the client, it honestly takes just a second to push the playback button and review your footage. And I didn't really hear about that when I was watching reviews. Maybe it was mentioned and I just kind of skimmed through the video as I was doing. But I was shooting a wedding one day after I bought the camera, so I had a lot of faith in this camera. And I went to review some footage and I just pressed the playback button, and just like that, I was reviewing my footage and I was like, oh, that's ridiculously fast, awesome. I didn't know that was a feature, but I'm totally cool with it. And maybe it's the CF Express Type B card that's making it much faster. I'm not sure. Bonus features that I didn't know I wanted was the fully adjustable screen. I really love the adjustable screen and how I'm able to get like the lower angles without, really needing a monitor or popping out the monitor like other cameras. Something about shooting like this always just kind of felt a little amateur-y to me, and I don't know why. It just feels that way. So having options is great. A sensor covering when the camera shut down. I changed my lenses a lot, and so having that feature is going to be awesome to mitigate the amount of dust going into the sensor, which, I admit I have to very frequently clean off my sensors. A physical switch for photo and video mode, and a CF Express Type B slot on top of an SD card slot, so you could record intense file sizes. Overall, this camera just kind of seems like the camera of my dreams. It's not the camera, it's the user, but if you know, you know, right? And in terms of overheating, I've seen this problem pop up on the subreddits and other places where I read about these cameras. People's cameras have suffered overheating issues where the camera would stop working over a period of time. I shot a 10-hour wedding with this camera, but I never really recorded in super high frame rates. People were saying that at the 5.1 open gate 60 frames a second, it would overheat after 20 minutes. Other people said that they tested theirs and it didn't do it. So there's differing pieces of information about that problem. But again, I haven't experienced it. I did a wedding in like 32-degree heat, humidity, whatever. Shot some slow motion, shot 20 minutes of ceremony 4K 24. It seemed fine to me. So of course, I'm sure the problem exists, and I hope Lumix addresses it, but I haven't had the problem yet, and I don't know if I'll ever shoot in a way where I would have that problem. But if I do, I'll let you know. So yeah, those are just my initial thoughts on the Lumix S1 Mark II, and I'm very excited to be using it in the real world. And for my projects, I'll be shooting real estate with this. I'm hoping that the Zhiyun Weeble 3E can support the load, but we'll see. So let's switch over to this camera for the rest of the video. Does it look any different? I don't really think so. I heard there's a green tinge to the S1 Mark II, or some sort of green hue, but I'm sure I could color grade that out. There's also a red record light, which I love. I don't know why, I just love it. So the next part of my video, Freewell yet again came in clutch with another magnetic filter system. And if you've been around for a while, I've been using Freewell since the beginning of my videography career, not my YouTube career, but my videography career. So my first ever ND filters, I picked up Freewells and I haven't looked back since. So having them send me stuff is super cool. Disclaimer, they sent these to me for free and I didn't get paid to make this review or unboxing. So yeah, let's just dig into this box. So here we have the version 2 magnetic hybrid VND CPL 3 to 7 stops filter. And like usual, it comes with a kick-ass leather case. You really can't go wrong with a case like this. So professional and sleek, love it. So it comes in the package, it's pretty minimal. We have ourselves the 3 to 7 variable ND filter, a mounting thread for your 82mm thread lenses, and a back cap. They also sent me a few more goodies, so let's check it out. This is a diffusion snow mist 1/4 filter. So kind of like a Pro Mist filter, I'd imagine. I'll have some footage here. And if you don't know, I'm using an actual Pro Mist filter on this talking head setup, a 1/4 as well, so it's extra soft in some of the highlights. And the Snow Mist also comes in this super sleek leather carrying case. And last but not least, a 67mm base ring and back cap. If you're not using an 82mm filter thread lens, you could use a step-up filter. And now you're actually able to take the filter and put it onto your lens. There's also locks on the filter as well to lock your filter into your lens setup so it doesn't come off so easily if you're scared of that. So this is a variable ND and polarizer filter combo. So what does a polarizer do? I actually use polarized filters with my real estate shoots. And what that does, it kind of just removes sort of unnecessary reflections. So let's say that your floor has a bit of a glisten to it because of the sun. You're able to put a CPL filter on and just adjust it and get rid of some of those extra shines and extra color casts. It's not perfect, mind you. It doesn't get rid of totally everything, but it definitely cleans up the image quite a bit. So if you're into kind of getting those true colors, then you definitely want a CPL filter. What's really cool about this filter system as well is that with that step-up ring for my 67mm filter thread on my smaller prime lenses, is that you're able to actually use the larger thread, the 82mm that comes in the case, and quickly go from one lens to another. It's honestly just extra convenient. Let's actually switch over to this filter system for the rest of this talking head shot. And how is it looking? I'm thinking it looks pretty dang good if I do say so myself. So for just the CPL VND system kit, that's gonna run you $149.99 US or $205.64 Canadian dollars. So it is a little pricey, but again, you're getting a high quality filtering system that's easy to use and, you know, just super convenient. The diffusion snow mist filter by itself is $49.99 US or $68.54 Canadian dollars. If you're looking for a sweet filtering system, especially if you're doing a lot of outdoor shooting to indoor shooting, you're always on the go, you're a handheld run and gun sort of shooter, this is a great system for you. So if you want it, go ahead and buy it. And if you don't, that's cool too. So thank you so much, Freewell, for sending me this system. And thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, feel free to subscribe and, you know, leave a like. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye now.